On the other end of the spectrum, the Bengals come out of nowhere because Cedric Benson can run the ball, and I just don't see Carson Palmer doing anything.
Well, he's not going to throw for 3,400 yards. Okay, that's about the cap for him because of the way that they want to play football. They want the power running game. Cedric Benson is that guy, and I don't think that that's a fluke. That being said, he's got a much better receiving core than he's had in a long time. They picked up Antonio Bryant. They got Matt Jones, and if he can keep the straw out of his nose, he'll do very well. And this rookie Jordan Shipley, is a very sexy guy in terms of his fantasy appeal, and a guy I want to see. Well,
I saw him in a thong.
Yeah, and they also got Jermaine Gresham, who is a tight end, and if they can get him involved, that can make Carson Palmer a little dangerous.
This is you got your Cincinnati Bengals beer goggles on, like everybody had last year with the Bears. That's what I'm saying.
Last year, everybody was high on Carson Palmer, I felt, and Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and it turned out to be not such a good thing because they were a power running football team.
Do we even want to talk about Cleveland? Is LeBron going to be their quarterback?
He'd do a better job, I think. This is going to be...
See how the music stopped when you talk about Cleveland? Like, the whole world just went, whoa.
I know, yeah. It's brutal.
The air went out of the bag. It was like...
Yeah. Weren't they the most troubled franchise or the most cursed franchise that we saw on the NFL.com? Well, Mangini says he gets it. That was the quote that I read the other day.
Yeah, he got his job back.
And I go, he gets it from Mangini. Is that a ringing endorsement? I don't think so. At least he's played full seasons, and that's more than any Cleveland quarterback has played in the past 5 years. He's thrown 23 interceptions in his last 12 starts. This is his last quarterback shot in the NFL, really. If he doesn't do it here...
Everybody likes Jake.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Raging Cajun, yeah.
But for me, because I hate quarterbacks so much, I would take him just because I hate him so much.
He's my quarterback.
And it would disappoint me at all.
He's my quarterback 30, and you could take him before you take your kicker in the last round.
That's right.
And there you
exactly
have it.
Right. So now we can get a little... speed it up a little bit because we can talk about the Dallas Cowboys, but Tony Romo is playing golf, isn't he?
He's the Rominator. I have him as the 4th guy overall. He's Romo-licious, a favorable schedule, good weapons. Only 9 interceptions last year, and he won a playoff game. Go pick him up in your second round.
Romosexual. Yep. All right, beautiful. Here we go. Now, the Denver Broncos. Tim Tebow. I don't...
I
want to hit the bong hit, but I can't.
No, Darth Vader. Darth Vader, there's the Emperor is over in New England in his hoodie, and then Darth Vader is out in Denver, and he thinks he can do it, He's got his own little Death Star, and he's going to do his own thing, and Tim Tebow, and, he's going to use the Force, And it's not... this is going to be Kyle Orton's last year. It's his last year on the contract that he had, and it seemed to be all a part of the plan initially. And, he doesn't have the security blanket in Brandon Marshall. There were games last year he was forcing it into Brandon Marshall, and this is going to kill his stats. I have him, Kyle Orton, as the 27th quarterback.
Now, what do you say to all the Notre Dame heads who love Brady Quinn? He's in Denver still, right? They haven't moved him.
Yes, yeah. He could play this year.
He's no Ron Paulus. Come on.
But then again,
Google it.
Who could be? But listen to this. Jabbar Gaffney and Eddie Royal, the most disappointing wide receiver in fantasy football last year, are your starting wide receivers in Denver. How could you possibly have any faith in any of that? And they want to be a power running team.
I know.
Get no Sean Moreno.
But I'm telling you, people are going to pick Orton, and somehow Tebow is going to get picked.
You may have to get him as late as you take quarterbacks.
All right. We are heading down to the home stretch of this segment. We got 3 more teams to go. And if you haven't noticed, fans on the internet, we are going alphabetically.
It's true.
So if you haven't heard your team yet...
If you're waiting for the Washington Redskins, come back to the end of the show. But there's other good stuff in between.
That's right. The Detroit Lions.
The Lions. Matt Stafford, I think this is a good year for Matt Stafford. They have surrounded him with good talent. And all of it is contingent upon being healthy. I think all of this is contingent on being healthy, but I think very much so with the Detroit Lions, mainly because of Nate Burleson. if he can put it together and put together a healthy season, which he did last year and did okay. Megatron, Nate Burleson, Tony Scheffler, they're talking about him being a wide receiver, not a tight end.
Right.
So we have to monitor that in camp. Brandon Pettigrew was the number 25 tight end last year before he got injured, and that's after he got injured. So I think I like him 16, 17 quarterback overall.
To be honest with you, the Detroit Lions in general are my beer goggle. Like, I see a lot of talent there. Like,
Yeah.
I just see...
They can win 6-7 games this year, and that would be like a huge step up.
From the Cleveland game last year, I'm like, if I had just started him that one game, would have kind of... That's why I hate quarterbacks so much!
It's hard to predict those guys.
Oh! Now, speaking of everybody this is unbelievable. Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he should be the number 1 pick.
He was the number 1 quarterback last year. The guy who came in second in the main league that I'm in has Aaron Rodgers and is going to keep him for his career. The surprising thing about Aaron Rodgers, and the only thing that would scare me about drafting him, is that he was sacked a league high 51 times last year.
51.
Wow. If he goes down, they have nobody. They have a guy by the name of Matt Flynn who's their backup, and. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there at the number 10 overall pick in your draft.
Right.
You should go get him. But the only reservation I would have is that sack thing, with that offensive line.
But these two teams that we're talking about, and we're going to go to Houston and then go to a break. But what I would say here is, in your fantasy league, Aaron Rodgers is not a sleeper or a surprise.
No.
Like, the secret's out. The secret's out. The same with Matt Schaub. The secret is out. It's not like you're going to get... I got him in the first round at number 2.
Last year, the secret was not out on Matt Schaub. Every year, there's one quarterback who makes the jump. Our job is to find that guy.
I think it's going to be Stafford this year, but Matt Schaub had a great fantasy.
He had an absolute... his top year ever. He has never thrown over 3,000 yards in a season, and he threw for 4,700 yards last year. It's his first time over 4,000 yards.
This is where I come back to you.
I know.
Before we go to break in my roid rage. Now, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Schaub, give me, because I hate quarterbacks, but give me the reason to draft it higher. And then I know what's going to happen. They're going to turn it to Jay Cutler, and they're going to turn it to Joe Flacco on me.
Or they get hurt. And that's been the thing with Matt Schaub. Can he do it again? Is he going to get hurt again?
Yeah. But see, they're another team like the Detroit Lions that have a lot of little talent everywhere.
Take a look at that schedule that they play. They play a brutal schedule. So I mean,
but that's the same thing that happened to Matty Ice.
Yep. Yeah. I think that because they enjoyed that success with him as a rookie, and
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the phone number is 877-CHAT-212. That's 877-242-8212. The phone lines are open if you'd like to come on in and call and talk about quarterbacks. And if time permits, we can open it up to even more stuff. We're going to be finishing off the quarterbacks for the remaining teams. This is 32 Teams, the real fantasy football show on Chataboutit.com. Get your lighters up. Or your cell phones.